Hello, Steelers fans. I don't know about you, but I'm counting down the hours until the new season starts. I know there are still a few months to go, but I'm excited. I'm even dreaming about it. My biggest wish this year is to see the Steelers play in the Super Bowl. Many fans don't believe in it, but I do. If you also have this wish and really want it to happen, hit the like button hard. And if you want, write something like, "My heart is black and gold." It's great to see real fans of all ages, including people here who were at the games back when the franchise started. Maximum respect, my friends. Now let's get to the point. The Pittsburgh Steelers just made a move that may have gone unnoticed by some, but make no mistake, it could be a defining moment for the team this season and the next. Safety DeShon Elliott has officially signed a 2-year, $12.5 million extension with $9.2 million guaranteed. On paper, sounds solid. But in practice, this move could be one of the smartest front office decisions we've seen in years, and not just because of the numbers. When Elliott arrived last spring, almost no one cared. Free agency had some flashier names floating around: Justin Simmons, Justin Reed, and others who generated more buzz. Terrell Edmonds was waived. No major draft moves were made to replace him. Elliott quietly stepped in. No hype, no expectations. But by the end of the season, you could argue he was the Steelers' best defensive player. And that's not an exaggeration. With 108 tackles on 111 attempts in 2024, Elliott wasn't just productive, he was dominant. He didn't just fill a role, he took it over. He brought something to this defense that's been missing for a long time. Call it edge, call it grit, call it that villain mindset that's become synonymous with great Steelers defenses of the past. From staring down Aaron Rodgers to being everywhere the ball was, Elliott embodied what it means to wear the black and gold. And now the Steelers have locked him in at an average of just over $6 million a year. That's a steal. But the real story? What this says about the Steelers' mindset. This isn't business as usual. This isn't the old school wait until the last minute model the Steelers have operated with for decades. Extending Elliott now, before dealing with TJ Watt's mega extension, before sorting out Jaylen Warren and Calvin Austin, signals something different. It says Pittsburgh is building for something big. It says they're trying to solidify their core now before the final pieces fall into place. The implications of this move ripple out, because if Elliott, arguably the player with the most question marks due to a history of injuries and inconsistent stints with other teams, can get extended now, what does that mean for players like Jaylen Warren or Calvin Austin? Suddenly, those deals aren't long shots anymore. They're very much in play. The Steelers might just be clearing the deck, getting foundational players locked in while they negotiate with their biggest star, TJ Watt. And speaking of Watt, the silence there is loud. No one's panicking yet. There's no sense of alarm within the organization. But the longer it takes, the more moves like Elliott's raise eyebrows. Are these calculated steps forward or hedges against what might not get done in time? There's more. With Elliott now seen as a centerpiece rather than a role player, the Steelers' identity on defense shifts. They've always had talent: TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, Minkah Fitzpatrick, but they've lacked that junkyard dog in the secondary, that enforcer who thrives in the chaos. Now they have it. Pair him with emerging talents like Joey Porter Jr. and incoming impact players like Patrick Queen, and you're starting to see something take shape.
It's not just about stopping teams anymore. It's about intimidating them, and Elliott might be the face of that new wave. But the front office isn't stopping there. I've been told directly there are still key extensions being talked about. Jaylen Warren and Calvin Austin might be next. Both would come cheap, both could offer huge returns, and both give the Steelers long-term flexibility. Lock them in now, and you're suddenly staring at a foundation that's ready to compete for years, not just this season. This isn't just about depth. This is about identity. It's about putting the pieces together in a way we haven't seen since the last time the Steelers were a true threat in the AFC. And you know what? That threat feels real now. But I want to hear from you. Does this DeShon Elliott deal signal a new era of aggressive moves from the front office? Or is it just a smart one-off? Do you think he deserved the extension before TJ Watt? And if you had to choose Jaylen Warren or Calvin Austin, who gets the next deal? Let me know in the comments below. The extension of DeShon Elliott might seem like a routine retention move, but it could very well be the first domino in a chain of strategic offseason decisions meant to reshape the team for a legitimate title run. There's something brewing in Pittsburgh that goes beyond your typical team prep. This is looking more and more like a team that knows its window is open, and they're pushing everything to capitalize on it. You lock down Elliott, who not only delivered consistent performance but brought that crucial physicality and swagger. Then suddenly, rumors start picking up steam, whispers about who's next. Jaylen Warren, Calvin Austin, and that's when things really start clicking. Let's talk about Jaylen Warren first. He's not just a fan favorite anymore, he's a legit piece in the offensive puzzle. If you're building around a committee approach at running back, Warren is your 1B. The guy runs angry. He compliments Caleb Johnson, and if Pittsburgh believes they've got their RB tandem of the future, it only makes sense to lock him in before his market value rises. And trust me, it will rise. If you wait until next offseason, he could command way more. But if you do it now, you could get a premier complimentary back at a bargain rate. And Calvin Austin, sure, he hasn't blown the doors off just yet. But the potential? It's there. Speed, agility, and versatility. Right now, you can sign him cheap, maybe $7 to $8 million per year over a short-term deal. And suddenly you've got your WR3 locked in without the drama of rolling the dice with journeymen like Scotty Miller or Van Jefferson. That's how you build consistency. That's how you set the tone for a cohesive unit, not just for this season, but for the next 3. But then, things take a turn. Because as much as all of that makes sense, extending Elliott, lining up Warren, locking in Austin, there's a cloud over all of this. That cloud? TJ Watt. Yes, he's under contract, but everyone knows the deal's getting old. He's due. When you look around the league at what other elite pass rushers are making, it's clear what is now underpaid. You can feel the tension simmering. The organization knows it. What knows it? Yet other deals are getting done first. It's a bold move, maybe even a risky one. Are the Steelers hedging, trying to manage as many variables as possible before committing big money? Or is it just strategic, getting smaller contracts done first to understand how much space is left for what's inevitable extension? Either way, what is the linchpin? His silence, his patience, might not last forever. If August comes with no deal, the alarms might start ringing. But while what situation dominates headlines, don't ignore what could be brewing quietly. A name keeps surfacing, Trey Hendrickson. Yeah, that Trey Hendrickson, AFC North monster, a consistent edge threat, and apparently a big admirer of Mike Tomlin. I've been told he fits the Steelers' mindset and could be open to a move if the Bengals let him go. Would it happen? Probably not. Pittsburgh isn't about to ditch Alex Highsmith unless something drastic happens. But the fact Hendrickson's name is being brought up unprompted, that's telling. Maybe the Steelers are truly in all-in mode. Maybe they're not just building a playoff team. Maybe they're quietly constructing a Super Bowl roster, the Steelers' way. No leaks, just business. And if that's true, Hendrickson's name being floated isn't random. Neither is the talk of adding another wide receiver. A WR2 is still on the radar. The goal? Value? Fit? Someone who complements DK and Rodgers without blowing the budget. Speaking of Rodgers, none of this matters if he's not set up to succeed. But believe it or not, there's real optimism about him. Not cautious hope, genuine belief. If Rodgers delivers, don't rule out the Steelers keeping him past 2025. But that hinges on everything working, contracts, chemistry, wins. That's what makes this offseason so crucial. Every move matters. Every rumor could be real. Every camp rep could shift a depth chart. So here's the question. Are the Pittsburgh Steelers really going all in for a Super Bowl right now? If so, buckle up. Now it's your turn. Steelers Nation. Is the front office building something big? Would you lock in Warren or Austin next? And do you believe Trey Hendrickson in black and gold is more than just smoke? Let me know in the comments.